We'd now like to listen to our special guest from all the way from Korea. But before I introduce Dr. Jae-Gu Kim, I'd like to introduce first KoSEA, the Korean Social Enterprise Promotion Agency. KoSEA was established by virtue of Article 20 of the Law on the Promotion of Social Enterprises of Korea. Its purpose is to foster and promote social enterprises effectively. Today, the agency is creating an ecosystem which will enable the social enterprises in Korea to grow in a natural way. KoSEA is opening up the way for social entrepreneurs to be able to have sustainable business models through education and consulting on business administration. At the same time, it supports them in making solid basis for profitability by exploring markets with clear market management strategies on the basis of the demand of the local community. It is the lead agency for developing the ecosystem for social enterprises to thrive. Our speaker, Dr. Jae-Gu Kim, is the president of the Korea Social Enterprise Promotion Agency. He was granted all his degrees from a bachelor's to a doctorate in business administration at Seoul National University. After that, he built his research at the Korea Labor Institute and Stanford University. He is a professor of business administration at Myongji University before he became the president of KoSEA for 10 years. His researches focus on organizational theory, human resource management, strategic management, social enterprises, government reinvention, and automotive industry. His academic zeal towards these topics contributed to his admission to several professional organizations. He was a member of the Social Enterprise Policy Coordination Task Force, Korean Presidential Office, and an editor of the Korean Academy of Management. Specifically, he was a former chairman of the Korean Academy of Automotive Industry Research and the Korean Productivity Association. Let's welcome Dr. Jae-Gu Kim.
Thank you for introducing me. And also I'd like to appreciate the invitation of the Honorable Congressman Baez and also your present coalition members. Above all, I am so honored to have the opportunity to discuss social enterprise promotion policy and also its development direction in Korea. After talking about the general concept of the social enterprise very briefly, and then I'd like to talk about the experience of enforcement of Korean Social Enterprise Promotion Act. And also you could know about its certification system and ODA through social enterprise. And then I would like to mention the transforming Korean economy through SEs. Next please. As you already know, the concept of social enterprise comes from very diverse origin. But anyway, social enterprise is a kind of the hybrid concept of a traditional non-profit organization and a commercial company, as already Dr. Dakani mentioned. It adopts a business measure to create social value and achieve social purpose. Next one, please. Next slide. Yeah. So when I first met the social enterprise peoples, I think it is somewhat very narrow stream. So I think in Korea, social entrepreneurs need to expand their boundary, so-called to the social economy issue. And first, we could collaborate with traditional non-profit organizations. And then the close neighbor would be the cooperative people. And then we could make collaboration with the traditional business organization, CSR activity. Next, please. Definitely, the social enterprise has two features. The first one is it is a real commercial business organization, but it makes stress on the creating social values. The next one, please. But this slide could already explained by the Dr. Dakani, but I just add some comment. From the crisis of the oil shock in 1970, the government already lose the control. They are lack of money, and it is very difficult to raise the tax from the people. I think the increasing taxation is a very obsolete paradigm and also unrealizable until now. And as you know, we depend on the world market. We suffer from the polarization issues, and that it may differ the poverty issue. So that's why we need the social enterprise as a new alternative for the providing social welfare and also creating a decent job for especially for marginalized people. Next one, please. I like to introduce very briefly the history of the Korean social enterprise policy. And first, we Koreans faced the foreign exchange crisis in 1997. At that time, I worked for the Korean Labor Institute, which is a government-sponsored research institute. Till then, we didn't have any kind of unemployment measure because at that time the unemployment was not a problem of our society. But after that, we have to create lots of measures against the unemployment issue and also the poverty issue. And first, the Korean Ministry of the Labor, at that time the title is Labor, tried to provide the kind of the public work scheme. Especially the Korean government tried to subsidy the marginalized people, but at first they tried to create kind of the public work scheme. But as you know, it is not sustainable job. It's just a very limited capacity. And so at that time, the grassroots level, many the social worker and community organizer and the activists for the poor people and also the cooperative claimed a new legal form would be created, like the Western experience, that namely the social enterprise. So after that, the Korean government adopted the civil sector's movement. They tried to create the new act, so-called in 2007 Social Enterprise Promotion Act. This maneuver was initiated by the Korean Department of Employment and Labor. And I believe definitely the Korean Department of Social Welfare quite interested in this concept. But anyway, after the initiation of the Department of Employment and Labor, they put on stress on the job creation. And next, please. In 2010, that time I joined the policy consultation for the policy making at the Presidential House of Korea. I reviewed all the Korean social enterprise promotion policy. I think there are some new reinvention for the development of social enterprise. There are three keynotes. At first, social enterprise should be led by civil society sector and also private sector. If it is led by the government side, in the short term, it will be achieve very big success, but it may hurt the very nature of social enterprise. Social enterprise should be viable and sustainable by the support of the civil society sector. The government just stand beside or behind. It may government could subsidy in the initial stage as a primer for they could start up their business. And then they could, government could organize even the financial sector. As like the Conservative Party of the United Kingdom, they already set the big society fund for they encouraging the banking sector to put on the social fund, and also they try to boost up the social impact investing. And the next one is the social enterprise should be based on the community sector. They could make a sustainable business model, depend on the community residents' needs, and also they could find market opportunity there. Next one, please. As the Dr. Dakani already told on, so I'd like to just move on. Social enterprise has grown in stature all around the world, specifically in Europe. Social enterprise are expected as a new growth engine beyond just a complementary economic activity. Related department, Ministry for Social and Solidarity Economy in France, and also Office of Civil Society in the United Kingdom prove it. Moreover, a number of European countries, including Spain, Italy, and Portugal, and so on, already initiate the law related to social enterprise or social economy. The statistics also show that social economy accounts for from 5 to 10% of total GDP, and also more than 10% of total employment in developed European countries. Next, please. It will be very interesting for all of you to know that Korea has very unique system of a certification system in our Social Enterprise Promotion Act. Next one, please. To be certified as a social enterprise, an applicant must submit an application to the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Actually, the KoSEA, my institution, does working level activity such as the document review and inspect the work site, actual site inspection. After this examination, it requires past and two screening, like the Minimum Certification Service Committee and also the Promotion Committee. Next slide, please. Next slide, yeah. An applicant should match 7 qualifications defined by the Act described on the screen. And I think it's not easy. It's very high hurdle for the social enterprise because they got the eligibility for the government subsidy, and also many civil sector could support the certified social enterprise. We get a very high level of hurdle. Next one. If an organization fulfills the minimum legal condition necessary to be certified, including the realization of social purpose, and then profit creation through business activity does not satisfy some requirements such as profit structure, it could be designated as a preliminary social enterprise by the minister of the other minister of the central government or the local government. For example, the mayor of Seoul metropolitan city. In order to be certified in the near future as a social enterprise, once it makes up for the necessary requirement. So there are the two kinds of the social enterprise, preliminary and then certified. Next one, please. Social enterprise are classified into 5 types in Korea according to their social purpose. The first one is job creation type and social service provision, a mixed type of job creation and social service provision. And fourth one is local community contribution type. And finally, the other type. Next one, please. We also provide a number of service and support with preliminary and certified social enterprise to improve their managerial ability. It's in the morning session. One reporter asked, "What you Filipino government already spend lots of money, maybe on the social welfare activity. So why do we need Filipino needs another bill for the social welfare?" So I reply back to him. We have the same problem. The Korean government spent about 100 billion US dollar on the social welfare service already, but we Korea really realized that we should revamp the social welfare delivery system. There is a kind of problem with how we could reach the target person. And then there is another issue of the leakage problem on the channel. So even the gatekeeper of the government expenditure, the Ministry of Planning and Finance, support us on the social enterprise bill. So we already provide the tax exemption for the certified social enterprise, about 50% of corporation tax and also the income tax, but just for 4 years. 4 years, yeah. And you could see another support measure for social enterprise. Next one, please. Yeah, you could see on the screen the number of social enterprise and preliminary social enterprise has increased rapidly every year. As of September this year, there are 1,165 certified social enterprise, and also including preliminary one, the number reached to 2,631. They hired 26,229, and around about 60% of them come from vulnerable social group. Next one, the most common type of social enterprise is job creation type, and the other type by industrial classification. This is because socially vulnerable people can be easily hired in manufacturing industry. Next one. Now I'd like to talk about ODA through social enterprise. Korea has a short history of ODA as a donor. However, proudly, it is widely accepted that Korea is the first country to turn into donor from a recipient. The scale of assistance of Korea ranked in the middle among DAC, the DAC countries, but it has been increasing consistently. Next one, please. There has been a new trend in ODA recently, ODA through social enterprise. In other words, they need a sustainable development goal. This has a knock-on impact overseas foundation and employment by a social enterprise, along with the original purpose of ODA, eradication of the poverty. Next one. I'd like to show some Korean social enterprise which make a contribution to this. They provide alternative tourism, impact donation, and also employment in developing countries. Next one. And let me talk about the other cases. It's cases of Korean diaspora who lived in the United States. She found the Israeli Empire. She provided the waterproof purifier and also the solar charged battery, the lamp, to the developing country in the Asia and Africa and also the South America. But the most important thing is the social enterprise try to cultivate community leaders, community residents to be a business person. It's very different from just a donation. As you see, the first one is water purified manufactured by the D-School student at Stanford University. But the Israel does not donate or give them away. They try to make a kind of the business. At first, they organize the village people who lack of enough the supply of water supply, and then they could make build up the purifier's business. And the below one is the lab. So it is also invented by the B-school student. But as you could see the right picture, they could cultivate the housewives to be a business person. They could sell the DRAM to other village members because they already have experience of the good diet with the rice, and also it's very cost effective comparing to the Caribbean oil. So they could proudly, confidently sell their product. And then the most important one, they could be a proud mom, because when they didn't have any economic income, they could not support their children and family members. But now they have got permission from their business. They could provide their good, healthy food to their children, and also support their the schooling. That's why they could be turned to the proud mom, and then they could make difference in their home, house, and also their village. It's the power of the social entrepreneur, I believe. Next one, please. Now, so as you see, the KoSEA and KoSEA, in charge of grant type assistance in Korea, signed to establish cooperation regarding ODS through social enterprise. We KoSEA could provide education and training service to the social entrepreneur who try to establish their own startup abroad. But we could not spend our budget on the overseas. But the KoSEA and KOTRA is another public institution, could sponsor the overseas social entrepreneur. That's why we made the MOU just recently. And then next one. At this time, I'd like to discussing about the meaning of transforming Korean economy through social entrepreneurship. First of all, one of the president of Korea set the policy keynote as happiness of the people. And the implementation strategy would be customized employment and welfare. So, as you know, we try to encourage vulnerable social groups to cooperate with each other and involve in the economy. As you know, now the ruling party of the Korea is the Conservative Party. It focused on the personal responsibility and self-help spirit. But I think it's very, very similar and very well collaborated with social enterprise spirit and also the cooperative. So we try to those economic activity of the marginalized people can contribute to creative job and also expand the social service and also finally develop and integrate the community. Next one, please. As you know, Korea has shown unprecedented growth, has entered the league of top 10 economic powers of the world. However, this economic success has not been accompanied by the harmonious system of growth and distribution. Korean society could not resolve fundamental social problems with a highly competitive economic atmosphere. So now we face the polarization issue and aging population and very high youth unemployment. So we have to fight against this social problem. That's why the social enterprise began to grow in Korea. They started to provide jobs to vulnerable people without having to increase tax. The government and civil society cooperate to change the welfare delivery system. Next one, please. You can see the objective and implementation process on the screen. It aims to resolve polarization can create healthy community and develop a well-balanced economy. In other words, it's an inclusive economy. The next one, there are certain areas for action that need to be pursued for the further development of social enterprise. In order to build an ecosystem where social enterprise can be viable and sustainable, we need policy for the amicable atmosphere to social enterprise for human resource. They could recruit and retain valuable talent. And the next one is financial infrastructure for each financial need. So the government try to set up their own social fund and also encourage the social encourage the private sector, I mean the ordinary business organization, to invest for the social impact purpose. And the next one is definitely public procurement for the social enterprise market and display channel. Okay, the next one. So that's why we try to set up kind of the very friendly ecosystem for the social enterprise and also the social economy. And that's why I'd like to conclude the role of social enterprise. As you know, as already I mentioned, there is many roles of the social enterprise. Now the social enterprise get involved in the area of market where traditional enterprises are unwilling to get involved. And in the process, even make a profit. As you know, the western side, the many business organizations are very interested in the BOP market. Even they call it a frontier market. They could expect a high rate of the growth and even the profit rate. So we could, social enterprise could develop those underdeveloped area. And second one, social enterprise provide marginalized people with the opportunity to participate not only as part of the labor market, but also as part of broad society. So we call it a social integration. And so the social enterprise suggests new solution to social problem. Even to the helpless people and also the suffer from discrimination, they could get the problem solving from the business sector. And for social enterprise are able to provide high quality social service more effectively and efficiently. Lastly, social enterprise bring ethical consumption behavior to a competitive society at large. Okay, it's my conclusion. Social enterprise would have great implication and be a good resolution for Korea and also maybe the Philippines as well as western side, where goes through financial pressure due to social welfare against various social problems. Thank you very much for your